Hawksbee and Jacobs here on talkSPORT. Silverstone is marking their 75th anniversary of Formula One at the track, which is pretty amazing, really. Just reading a bit of background on what's going on at Silverstone, the British Grand Prix this weekend. It's so much more than a motor race now. So a very busy man has found us 10 minutes, the CEO of Silverstone, Stuart Pringle. Hi, Stuart.
Hello.
Yeah, it must be pretty full on for you this week. I mean, because as I said, there is so much going on, isn't there? You've got so many people there. You've got, top level gigs going on with Sam Fender, Fatboy Slim, etc. So not just the racing to deal with.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm not looking at anything else to fill my week. There's a bit on here, but the place is coming together beautifully. Bit of blue sky is nice in this country. Who'd organise outdoor events in the UK for a living? But it's too hot now. We're complaining about it. No, the British Grand Prix, Formula One British Grand Prix is a very big event now. Amazing sport, fantastic sporting event with Formula One and indeed Formula 2, 3 and 4. The real ladder of talent where all the junior drivers come up all the way to the top. But as you say, music and entertainment across the site, all over the weekend, some top-line artists all included in ticket price. And so a lot of people come for the weekend, camp, stay locally, really get stuck in. It's a big summer festival.
When does the planning start? Does it start the next day, for example, for next year, start on Monday? Is that how it works?
Yeah, 100%.
Really?
It absolutely does, yeah. We have a full-time team. I mean, we do many other things at Silverstone, racing most weekends between March and November, and things over Christmas. We do a Christmas light drive-through, Christmas light show, lap of lights, and there's lots of stuff that goes on year-round. But for the Formula One Grand Prix, we have a team who work on it throughout the year, yeah.
I suppose it's a balance, isn't it? It's a great traditional course. We said 75 years, and you've got people that love their motorsport that maybe some have been coming for those 75 years, I don't know. But you have to marry that with a kind of drive to survive, keeping relevant sort of new people coming to the sport. It's a balancing act, I guess, Stuart.
Yes, it is. Drive to Survive has been a phenomenon, not just in our sport, but actually it's really sort of defined what can be done in sport full stop and spawned these other series around cycling and golf and tennis and what have you. But it's been amazing for introducing a new audience to motor racing. There's an inherent challenge with motor racing. The heroes are covered in wear a big hat, a helmet around their head. You can't see them. This is sort of peeled back the layers, and people are seen behind the skins. And it is, perhaps they've come to the sport for a different reason, but actually it is the excitement of the race that is the common factor with everybody. But we do try and balance things. We of course want to recognise this history and heritage we have. We're very proud of the fact that here at Silverstone we hosted the first ever race of the Formula One World Championship in May 1950. But just relying on that history and heritage is not enough. We need to be forward-looking. We need to make sure that we're offering good value. The tickets are expensive to come to the British Grand Prix because it's a very expensive event to put on, and we have a very expensive bill to pay to get the show to come to town. And unlike sort of 90% of the races on the calendar, we're not publicly funded. We're doing this as a small private company. So it's very important that we demonstrate to everybody that we're packing as much value as we possibly can, and that's why we're putting in the music, we're putting in the comedy clubs, we're putting in the entertainment, we're putting in the second stage, as well as the fantastic support bill.
There are tickets still available, Stuart, is that right?
There are a handful. We've sold out of grandstand seats, but there are a very small number of general admission tickets where you can stand on the bank and still have a fantastic view. And there are some tickets in hospitality available. So if you're thinking about coming, Lando Norris having won yesterday in Austria, and George Russell the weekend before in Canada, then absolutely, I think the Brits are in with a shout. Never bet against Lewis Hamilton at Silverstone. He's won it 9 times before, and Ferrari was a bit quicker yesterday, so he could be in with a shout as well.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, often they come to Silverstone, we're often relying on one Brit to get the job done and fly the flag. But in this case, I mean, it's going to be a tall order for Lewis based on what we've seen. But let's be positive and say you've got 3 contenders.
Yeah, I think it's probably correct to count out Oliver Bearman at this stage, but who knows? But we got 4 Brits, 20% of the grid are British drivers. There's no nation that comes close to the UK in terms of consistently putting drivers on the grid, and a factor in that is the fact that we have had a Formula One race in this country consistently for 75 years. The only other country that's been on the calendar for the entire history of the championship is Italy. And if I was to ask you, you know, which two countries do you associate most with Formula One, I bet you'd say Britain and Italy. You know, having this consistency and this history makes a big difference. And our owner, the British Racing Drivers Club, that operates Silverstone on a not-for-profit basis, reinvests a lot of all the profits of the race back into the infrastructure here, and it really wants to support young British drivers, young British and Commonwealth drivers, actually, to ensure that they get onto the grid at Formula One. And that gives us this great ecosystem, which includes an industry that employs 50,000 people, and we're actually pretty good at it in this country.
You've got a karting track as well that's opening later this year, is that right?
Yeah, because that's where it all starts for these guys. You know, they all come from karting, and we've done karting at various stages in different guises at Silverstone in the past. But actually, this is going to be a proper international standard. We aspire to hold the European and in due course the World Championships. But you will still be able to come as your average punter with your family and your friends and compete on this world-class karting track right in the heart of Silverstone. So yeah, we're absolutely committed to trying to find the next talent to give people the chance to try it out. But also we're trying to rebuild Silverstone, or rebuild ourselves as a year-round business, not just be a one Sunday in July business. From where I sit as CEO, life's a lot better if you're paying the bills in the winter, you know, not just relying on the summer.
Yeah, of course. It was noticeable Lando Norris saying he was really looking forward to it. The British drivers do love their own home Grand Prix, don't they?
We've a wonderfully knowledgeable partisan crowd. I mean, not so partisan that they become unruly or anything, but they just get behind the British drivers. And you're absolutely right when you talk previously about this sort of the endemic interest in the sport in this country and these loyal fans that we've had for many years. It gets passed down intergenerational. You know, I blame my dad for me being here, and there's no hope for my kids, I can tell you. You know, we enjoy this sport together. Well, I think we probably do that across many sports, don't we, in the UK, which is something we can do as family groups. But we certainly get out and support the Brits. There'll be a lot of red, white and blue, but also a lot of Lando's very bright yellow. He's got a whole grandstand to himself. It's a bit like the seats in the backdrop behind you, actually, Lando's got. Did you
ever race yourself, Stuart?
No, I'm just a fan who turned his hobby into his day job, really, but never racing. No.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, of course.
No.
That's the way to do it.
Brilliant.
You probably won't get a lot of sleep over the next week, wouldn't you? Well, I wouldn't think. Won't be that good.
Well, look, it's a very big team here at Silverstone. It certainly doesn't only rely on my efforts, I can assure you. The place will be going to hell in a handcart down to me on my own. So no, we've got to, but to give you some sort of sense of the scale, we are a full-time team of just over 300 at Silverstone year-round.
Wow.
We typically have about closer to 1,000 people that get paid each month during the summer months with our casual staff who come in at weekends and help with the events. But at the British Grand Prix, that scales up to closer to 12,000 people to deliver the whole thing. It is a massive team effort. So, I'll be a busy chap, but there's a lot of people that will be getting up earlier than me and going to bed later than me and keeping us safe and secure.
Excellent. Well,
really interesting.
Hope you have a good weekend and a good week, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much indeed.
Stuart Pringle there, Silverstone CEO, and
that was interesting.
Yeah, you can still get tickets. Silverstone.co.uk. You can click through. As Stuart said, there are some general admission tickets and some hospitality tickets still going.